We have a new moon coming up on Sunday, April 27th in Taurus. And yeah, this week has been crazy. Has it been crazy for you? I don't know. Maybe it's not crazy for everybody, but it's been intense for a lot of people that I know, a lot of people that I've been talking to, especially in my practice and just in life in general. And it's because of the T square. In another video, I talked about a T square and the fact that it's kind of like being on a country lane where you're two cars coming and then there's another lane where another third car's coming. Anyway, I got to take a chill pill on the analogies because Taurus energy does not call for a ton of analogies. It calls for simplicity. Now, this new moon is going to meet with the sun on the same degree. That's what makes a new moon, and it's going to bring some release. Basically, why? Because the moon in Taurus is exalted. On top of that, the ruler of this new moon is Venus. Venus is still in Pisces, exalted. So what I'm seeing here is that this challenge that we maybe have had for the last week or so is going to be getting a little bit of release, a little bit of kindness, love, and joy. How? Well, we need to do something about it. We can't just, expect everything to happen to us. So that's what this new moon thing is, with setting seeds, setting intentions. And I know that's the overused phrase, setting seeds, setting seeds, setting seeds, new moon. But this one actually makes sense because it's Taurus. And Taurus is really about the fecundity of life and growing things growing and changing in the earth that brings some beauty and love and pleasantness. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Taurus energy. What is it even like? Where is your Taurus? That's the part of your chart, the part of you that doesn't really like things to be changing, like stability and feeling secure. Okay, that's the nature that we love, that the earth, our body, our food, that's practical stuff that we're talking about. Money, good meals, nice clothes. Being real. Taurus is a very real sign. No pretending. It's very clearly as it is, okay? And this new moon in Taurus brings these things to a fresh start for us. So we can look into that area of our life where this is happening and maybe bring some freshness there. That's one good way to work with new moons. They happen every single month. But if you actually know your chart, you can decide, oh, well, I have a seventh house Taurus. Maybe this is a time to really thinking about my relationships or setting some seeds for that. You know what I mean? Or if you have a 10th house Taurus, okay, this is about my visual reputation, how people see me. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to go to my website, I have a free thing that you can download. It's from Demetra George, www.elnatalia.com. And it's all the house topics. So if you can just locate your own Taurus, then you'll kind of know what kind of seeds should you set for this intention. Because this new moon in Taurus has a few things going on. We talked a little bit about the T-square. But on top of that, we have Uranus. Uranus has been in Taurus for the last 7 years. Now, I cannot think of two less compatible roommates or maybe a tenant, right, for Taurus to have than Uranus. Uranus is just like, oh, you don't like that? Oh, I don't care. I'm going to shake it up anyway. You want stability? Who cares about that? This is more interesting. It's more exciting. Taurus does not like these things that Uranus enjoys. And every single lunation we've had for the 7 years past, since 2018, has included some Uranian energy. And this is the last one. So we're kind of wrapping that up. In addition to knowing where this new moon is in your chart, where Taurus is, you can be thinking about that. Where has their stabilization been a little bit challenged for you in the last 7 years? And in 2025, July of 2025, Uranus moves into Gemini, and that is the next step. So we will have all the biggies moved into air and fire. Oof, it's starting to get the preliminary closure, whatever that means. But the lessons we've learned, we're deciding how we are going to maybe feel a little different and have a little bit more security in the Taurus area of our life as soon as Uranus moves on. Okay, the T-square. This T-square thing has been going on with these fixed signs, and Mars and Pluto have been fighting for a while. This is the third time it's happening. It's a long-term thing. And then the sun came in on it from Taurus, and that's what makes the T-square. The moon comes in and makes it a little bit better because it's in exaltation. Venus comes in and makes it a little bit better because she's the ruler in exaltation too. We covered that. Another thing to consider, however, is that Venus is with two other planets in Pisces. She's just been conjoined with Rahu, or the North Node, and Saturn. So even though Venus is in exaltation, she has these two influences that are upon her. And that brings in responsibility and a little more groundedness with Saturn. And the North Node, it's future forward, right? It's future oriented. It's thinking about what's coming in and bringing something new into that Pisces area of life. Let's look at the Sabian symbol and see if that gives us any more revelations to think about with this new moon in Taurus. It's Sabian symbol, Taurus 8, a sleigh without snow, or a sleigh on land uncovered by snow. So no snow, but there's a sleigh. JamesBurgess.com. Alignment with the future. The importance and value of anticipating what inevitable changes are coming, making something out of nothing with creative optimism. Okay, we're putting this together. Uranus has created a lot of changes for the last 7 years in the Taurus area. We've had instability with food prices. We've had instability with financial systems, which Taurus also rules. We've had instability with earth materials. Remember, I don't know if you remember, but there was that time where wood cost like more than a crazy amount for lumber and stuff like that. So those are the building blocks that Taurus has been under a lot of stress with Uranus in there. And now we know that there's going to be another set sort of change, and there's some letting go that we have to do here. But with optimism and imagination, we need to move forward. We've learned something. That's what it is when you have these uncomfortable situations, like not compatible bedmates or whatever. I don't, bedmates isn't probably the right word to say, but Uranus and Taurus, it just really, they don't match each other well. It's very difficult for them to get along because of the stability required by Taurus and the instability appreciated by Uranus. It comes in and shakes things up. So I think this alignment with the future works really well with our setting our seeds into what we want for Taurus things. That's our personal values. What are you doing to feel good about yourself? What do I think this means? I think it means you don't build a sleigh when it's already snowing. You have to build a sleigh before there's snow, because otherwise, how are you going to get around in the olden days, right? You don't cut wood when you need wood. You should have it ready, because in this winter, it's too hard to go out and cut the wood. It's already cold. You need it, you know? The beauty of Taurus is planning ahead, having material possessions secured, maybe thinking about your finances, thinking about your retirement plan, thinking about diversifying your income, or maybe your property or land, or thinking about the food that you eat, maybe something about your diet or your health or your body, or what do you need to do to feel good about yourself again and have self-confidence. It comes from a very honest, you have to be honest with yourself. It comes from simplicity. It has to be where it starts. An idea that I had, a lot of times there's farmers markets on Saturdays. You can go to the farmers market maybe and get some beautiful in season, seasonal vegetables and foods, and maybe plan some kind of delectable feast that you can eat on Sunday to bring in this Taurus energy into your life. Or a gratitude walk. Taurus really has the ability, and we all have Taurus in us somewhere, has the ability to have gratitude, to just be sitting under a tree, looking at the grass growing or a flower, and just be like, wow, this is a miracle. This is beautiful and amazing. And that's the five senses that we're bringing into it. Music, things that you can change your whole entire attitude with music. I made this video already once, and I was putting myself to sleep. I had to put on a song to be like, need to get amped up a little bit, Bring up your energy, bring up your energy. Music can change us like a big deal. Taurus is about feeling comfy. So this weekend, give yourself permission to do that as well. Maybe binge watch your favorite TV show. I've been indulging myself a little bit in that with the Good Place. I just got to the last episode today. Oh my gosh, it's such a good show. If you haven't seen it yet, if you're interested in philosophy and comedy and all that together, I don't know how they got away with making that show on network television. It is such a good show. So brilliant. But it brings me comfort and joy and happiness. So that's kind of what I'm looking for to express here. It's something that you can do for yourself to just feel good. I think that's what we want right now with this Taurus energy. I like you just the way you are. You are absolutely worth it. And I hope you have a wonderful new moon in Taurus. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay.